Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, safe, and well. And this morning, I gotta tell you, typically I just come up here and I kind of think about what I'm gonna talk about. I get a little prayer work in, and I just boom and let it rip. Today, I was a little bit more discerning. I was a little bit more nervous and a little bit more cautious because what I want to talk about is so deeply embedded in me this morning. As I was kind of making my way up to the treehouse, I was looking back at some of my journal entries from over a month and a half ago, kind of just before this whole experience of coronavirus really started to make itself known and really take over everything that we do these days, navigating these unprecedented, challenging, dark, stressful, scary times. And I was writing about how during that experience of that day, I was talking about politics, and I was talking about certain leaders, and I was talking about hate and divisiveness, and I was just really working through my compassion and working through my intention and working through my hope. And it was really, really interesting because I was reading it and I was thinking about, wow, you know what? Just before this was happening, there was a whole bunch of that was literally not just center stage, it was everywhere. And then when we replaced that with this experience of coronavirus, and then I read something this morning from a friend of mine who posted, and it was, it was beautiful on one level, but it also was like not deep enough for me to really go, hi, I'm not sure about that. It was basically, I can't wait till things go back to normal. And there wasn't any explanation, but I was like, okay, I agree. There's things that I want to go back to normal. How normally I can hug my friends. How normally I can just walk around and do things in my life and engage with people, strangers and friends and loved ones, and not be worried about being contagious or spreading the virus. I don't have to be worried and scared about every day, wondering whether or not we're flattening the curve or how many more people have died and how many people are all that stuff. I certainly don't want to go back to ever again when hopefully we're on the other side of this. But here's what I hope we learn about what's going through all of us right now. We're missing loved ones. Some of us have lost loved ones. Some of us are just missing the fact that we can't go and see loved ones. Those people can't come and see us. We've lost our work. We've lost livelihood. There's some of those things, but underneath all of that, I don't want to go back to where we were as a country, finding the them and us thing going on like it was just before this all happened. Remember that time? And we had all this stuff happening, and it was all about they were the wrong ones, and this lying was happening, and this deception and bullshit was happening over there. And you know what? If there's anything I want us to learn from this is that wasn't working before coronavirus, so don't let us dare to fall back into that and just go back to what it was in relationship to how we weren't getting along and what we weren't addressing. We weren't addressing the climate. We weren't addressing marginalization of certain societies and certain people and certain nationalities and certain types of walks and faiths and orientations. We were not working with that. So many of what politics was doing was continually marginalizing and putting those people down. So that isn't what I want to go back to. And I don't want to see the socioeconomic gap continue to widen because now we've stopped and looked around. Hey, wow, you know what? This is really something. It shows us how incredibly bad we are at taking care of everybody, how poor our healthcare system is. And isn't it interesting? We've also seen how incredibly resilient this planet is while we haven't been flying all over the world and planes are not flying. And I don't want the planes to go out of business. I want anyone to go out of business. But we should be mindful about the fact that this planet is incredibly resilient, and I don't want to go back to destroying it again. Because water is clearing up and skies are clearing and pollution is going down and there's all of this. So let's get really clear about what we want to go back to, what we want to learn from what we're missing right now, and get really clear about what we want to get to and what we don't want to forget as we move forward to. Really, really think about this. I'm thinking about it every single moment of my life right now, who I'm missing, but also what I don't want to go back to. I hope this country and this world learns something, but particularly this country, because we have been leaders in the past and we are failing at leading right now. So, let us think and let us set intentions. And let's write down right now. Say, when this is over, this is how I'm going to love. And this is over, this is how I'm going to lead. And this is over, this is what I'm going to stand for. This is over, I'm not going to be a part of judging. I'm going to be a part of solutions. When this is over, not if, when this is over, I'm going to rise up and learn everything I learned through this last month, 2 months, whatever this is going to be, to learn how to live bigger and bolder and brighter and stronger and more loving than I ever have before, and I'm not going to tolerate anything less than that. Not from leaders, and not from myself, and not from anybody. I am going to stand in the truth of who we are. That's what I'm going to do. So, it's challenging right now, but let's go back. Let's remember what we're missing right now, and when it's time for us to rejoin, we rejoin with a level of intention, but let us also rise above where we never want to go back to and be defined by, because that wasn't working either. Okay. Sorry if I offended anybody, but we gotta remember all this, don't we? Much love and every blessing. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.